And at this moment, President Trump is at that ceremony with the Royal Saudi Court. We are told that he didn't get much sleep on that flight on Air Force One landing in Riyadh here, but he did get a spectacular greeting. 7 jets streaking through the sky with King Salman joining the president in his limo on his way back to the hotel. But despite the warm welcome here in Saudi Arabia, it was a different vibe back in Washington, where the president was facing new questions about why he fired FBI Director James Comey, with new word now that Comey himself will testify publicly in front of the Senate. The president may be in Saudi Arabia today, but he cannot escape the shadow of Russia.
President Trump touching down in Saudi Arabia this morning.
Very happy to see you.
Welcomed with coffee with the king. But even thousands of miles from the White House, his recent controversies have followed him here. A new explosive report from the New York Times says the president told Russian officials in the Oval Office last week the FBI director he'd just fired was crazy, a real nut job, and that dismissing James Comey relieved great pressure on the president because of the FBI's Russia investigation. The report fueling suspicion the president fired Comey because of that investigation. The White House not disputing the account, but saying by grandstanding and politicizing the investigation into Russia's actions, James Comey created unnecessary pressure on our ability to engage and negotiate with Russia. Comey set to testify publicly after Memorial Day on Capitol Hill, but now an intensifying spotlight on the White House. Government sources familiar with the latest development say the actions of a current White House official, who wasn't named, are now under investigation.
That's important because there's been a lot of talk of former Trump associates or advisors, but now we're told that the investigation actually reaches into the White House.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, and advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner have already acknowledged contact with Russian officials. The White House says, as the president has stated before, a thorough investigation will confirm that there was no collusion between the campaign and any foreign entity. These domestic crises coming as the president begins a critical overseas trip, the first of his presidency. Diplomatic landmines at every step. Today, he'll meet with key Middle Eastern leaders before a speech tomorrow aimed at the Arab world with a message: unite against Islamic extremism. Then it's Israel, the Vatican, Brussels, and Sicily. 5 countries, 9 days, no room for error.
That doesn't take him away from the drama at home, and it doesn't make the challenges of accomplishing anything any easier when he travels either.
President Trump is joined on this trip by his wife Melania and daughter Ivanka, neither of whom wore headscarves, as most local women, or all local women here, do. Remember, that is not unusual, though. Most Western visitors don't cover their hair. But this is drawing some attention since back in 2015, Donald Trump tweeted that Saudis were insulted when Michelle Obama didn't wear a scarf. Jeff?
Hallie Jackson in Saudi Arabia. Hallie, thanks.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.